I am Charles, the third of my name, known as Charles the Fat, born into the noble bloodline of Charlemagne. My journey as ruler was one of turbulence, hope, and eventual disgrace. From 884 to 887, I bore the weight of the Carolingian crown, seeking unity in a fractured empire. My reign spanned not just the kingdom of West Francia but also the once glorious empire my ancestors forged. When I ascended to the throne in 884, my dreams were vast, though the empire was splintered by rivalries, weakened by Viking incursions, and plagued by disloyalty among the nobility. My coronation was not one of triumph but of necessity, for Louis III and Carloman II had passed, leaving West Francia vulnerable. The lords turned to me as a unifying figure, hoping I could emulate my forebears. However, my health was frail, and my corpulence became a cruel symbol of weakness in the eyes of many. Yet, I was resolute. In those days, the Northmen loomed as an existential threat. Their longships ravaged our rivers, and their warriors desecrated our towns. In 885, they laid siege to Paris, that jewel of the Seine. I gathered my forces and moved to defend the city, though my methods were criticized. Instead of an all-out battle, I chose diplomacy. I granted the Viking leader Siegfried a hefty tribute to withdraw. Many called it cowardice, I called it prudence. My empire was stretched too thin, my armies too disparate. Paris survived, but my reputation suffered, a burden I carried heavily. I could hear whispers in my court, murmurs of dissatisfaction, of my failure to command respect like Charlemagne once did. Unity was my guiding principle. I sought to preserve the empire's integrity by allying with local rulers and resolving disputes. In Italy, I strengthened the defenses against Saracen raids. In Burgundy, I worked to calm internal strife. Yet, even as I sought peace, my vassals and family conspired against me. My nephew, Arnulf of Carinthia, harbored ambitions of his own, and his rebellion was a dagger in my back. By 887, my health deteriorated further. My advisors, who once pledged loyalty, now doubted my abilities. At the imperial diet in Frankfurt, the nobility turned on me, declaring my deposition. Betrayed and abandoned, I fled to the Abbey of Prum, where I lived the final days of my life, a deposed emperor pondering the fleeting nature of power. Reflecting on my reign, I see both failure and resilience. I held the empire together, however tenuously, for a brief moment. Though I could not secure its lasting unity, I resisted the forces of complete disintegration. My story is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the fragility of power, the dangers of ambition, and the ceaseless march of history. And so, I, Charles the Fat, passed into obscurity in January 888, the last emperor to rule over Charlemagne's united empire. My legacy is not of greatness but of endurance, a brief flicker of unity in a time of chaos.